Okay, time to get in the back room, which isn't going to be as much of a challenge as it used to be, but it's still going to be a challenge because I haven't made the door yet. And I didn't think about the fact that I got it all stapled down, but in order to get it out, I'm going to have to remove some screws. I already got this one side off. I'm not going to pull the other side off. We're just going to go down in here and turn up the heat a bit. I'm going to close this up so it doesn't get any colder in here. Okay, now time to turn the water off. Look at all that calcium. One of the first things I do is make sure I got all the extra water I need, which we need water. Wash hands, drinking water. I've already got drinking water and toilet water. Oh, there's a horse right there. Holy smokes, folks. Hold on. That's the stallion. There he is. How cool is that? I'm out here getting water and I hear clop, 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 clop. Right on. Set this on the porch. Oh, that's just about I don't know, gallon and a half, 2 gallons, probably 2 gallons of water. That's my hot water source, folks. All right, that's done. And this is always kind of a pain. All right, I got the water turned off. Now we'll go inside, open up taps, make sure there's no water pressure. Then I get my compressor out. I put it at about 30, 35 pounds, probably 30 pounds would be plenty. Plug it into my tap, turn it on, put some water pressure in the system, and just blow out everything within the cabin first. And then all I've really got to do after that is button up that back room again. So I'm going to go inside and start making sure I got no pressure. Let's go take care of that. And how about that, having that stallion come trotting through here while I'm doing the water. You know, there's always a little pressure when you've got the gravity fed pressure like that. You shut the water off, but there's about 20 pounds of pressure built up inside here. Now we'll go into the bathroom. I'll do the same thing. Let me go take care of that real quick. Got no pressure there. It's good. Do the bathtub too. Make sure that if there's any water anywhere in the system, it runs out of the system. All right, next step is compressor. This guy here, we'll plug this in. All right, gotta take this inside here. I've got a connection that screws right into my kitchen sink, so it's gonna work really good. I'll show you. Why use your cabin power when you've got a power station handy? You know, I don't use power stations a lot out here, to be honest with you, but it's nice to have them if you need them. And this way I can work on testing one. All right, well that's doing its thing. We'll get this guy. This is my adapter here. I don't know if you can hear me. That starts to pressurize the cold water. Sorry about the noise. Okay, and this side. Now we just gotta make sure the hot water's cleaned out, and then we'll blow everything out. Oh, okay, here we go. We're making a mess here, and this is going to change. I will not have to do it like this in the future. It will dry, but it's not the best deal here. If you're looking at one of these Mary instant-on hot water heaters, I think they're okay for an outside scenario. They're really not for the way I'm using this and have been for several years. So just know that I don't think they're a very good design. Close this door up. Okay, now, well, we'll close this up. Yeah, it's fine. Calls for a break, doesn't it? Okay, we'll put this back outside. All right, here we go. Take this out here. Come on. Last time carrying this year. Oh, and let's drain it out. And all we have to do now, tomorrow, is put RV antifreeze into the P-traps. my chair's back here. Hey folks, one of the things I wanted to mention about coming out to the cabin is that I always bring certain things with me, and there was something missing in my kit that I normally bring out here. Now you might think, well, what do you bring? Food, water, whatever. Well, I always bring drinking water, even though I've got water up here that's perfectly fine to drink. I just always have a couple bottles of water with me in the truck, and obviously the usual food and all that kind of gear. And I actually do carry a little bit of survival gear with me too, because you're traveling to a remote location. It's a good idea to have that kind of stuff. Just stuff to have in case something goes wrong when you get out into the woods. In fact, I just did a video about being prepared for things. Well, one of the things that I've been meaning to do is to get myself a little jump box for my truck or my Jeep. I actually bought one from my wife last year, and you know, it's something that you put in your rig like this right here, and you kind of forget about it. Though you do need to make sure that they stay charged. You put it in your rig and then you just sort of have it there, right? Well, I ended up needing to use it after my wife's Jeep sat for, I don't know, maybe a couple, 2 or 3 months. It hadn't been run or used, and something must have drained the battery enough that the lights would come on, but it just wouldn't start. So I grabbed that little jump box that I had gotten for her and jumped her Jeep, no problem, and it worked great. And I kept saying to myself, I need to get one of those. Well, along came Ava Pow, which I think it should say Ava Power, but it's Ava Pow. And they sent this to me to try out. And only reason I accepted it, because to be honest with you, sometimes it's hard to decide whether you want to take on something and do a video about it or not. But this one I decided to accept because it tells you right off the bat that it can start a diesel up to, according to them, a 15-liter diesel. Now, I gotta be honest, I don't know what the heck a 15-liter diesel is. My truck's a 6.7 liter. So that's more than double the size of my truck. I don't know what you're talking about, a Caterpillar or something? Can this really start one of those? I don't know. But there's a reason why I've decided to go ahead and get this thing. There have been lots of times when I've come out here to the cabin and my tractor wouldn't start, my generator wouldn't start, or my sawmill wouldn't start, even the ATV, and it's always inconvenient. Then I gotta try to find a set of jumper cables, which I started leaving a set up here just for that reason. But then you have to try to get either your tractor or your truck next to that, whatever it is you can't start. And quite frankly, that can be difficult at times, especially in the winter. So I've actually been in a situation where I couldn't get my generator started, and I had to plow my way to the generator so I could jump it off my tractor. Well, I'm not gonna have to do that anymore because I now have this guy here. Now this is the Ava Pow 12 volt peak current, 6,000 amps. Holy smokes, that is a lot. It has a Type-C input, it has USB output, and then it has a DC output barrel type connector here. So it's actually kind of like a little power station. If we turn it on, 4 lights come on, it's fully charged. It seems like it must have a light. It's got a nice handle to it. Oh, look at that. You hold that down and then you get a light. And it changes to, I guess it's like an emergency light or beacon, so it's kind of like a flashlight. So that's kind of cool. So you could charge your phone with that by the looks of it. They give you a USB cable, and then you've got this set of jumper cables, which aren't very long, but the experience I had with my wife's is that they don't need to be. Stick this in the side here, and I'm not gonna stick it in the side right now. Pull this off. I want to make sure that these don't touch each other, so I'm going to clamp one on the other one. And this is something I always do with my jumper cables. So we can now plug this in here. Only goes one way. Make sure I got it going the right way. I do, okay. All right, and then it has a blue light on it. And it has LC, HT, and RC. So I'll look up those lights and I'll tell you what those are. And actually, it says on the back here, LC is low capacity, please charge jump starter. And then you have RC, reverse connection, please exchange positive and negative. That's kind of nice, because if you don't know this, if you try to jump a car and you reverse your polarity on it, you can blow up the battery. I've actually known people that have had that happen to them. Not a very good thing. And then you have HT for high temperature, please wait 5 minutes before starting the car. So that's it. That's pretty straightforward. They seem like pretty nice clips here. Those should work really well to get things started. And so this is my new go-to in my rig, and it will always be with me. So thank you, Ava Pow, for sending me this. It's going to be really nice to have this because I have had to jump my sawmill a couple times. Battery dies, gets dead, whatever. I've had to jump my generator a couple times, and I've had to jump my tractor. Not to mention, well, I'm always kind of worried about my truck or my Jeep or anything else. I'm out here without cell coverage, without internet coverage, with nothing else. So I've got to be able to get something started like my truck or my Jeep to get out of here. So if I come up here in the winter and I've got 2 feet of snow and I put my snowshoes on and I get in here and I get the cabin warmed up and I go to fire up my tractor, well, I'm SOL, because if it won't start, I can't plow my way out. The best I could hope to do was snowshoe back to my truck and leave, I guess. But that'd be a real pain in the butt. So at least with this worst case scenario, I could go ahead and snowshoe back to my truck, grab this, bring it up, start my tractor, get it warmed up, and then plow my way out. So that's pretty awesome. I was actually planning on getting one of these. I did not know that they came with as much power as this has. And I like that handle too, by the way. It feels really solid too. This is a pretty good item. So I think this is something that if you don't have one of these in your car, you really should have one. I'll drop a link down below for you to check out. Ava Pow, that's what they're called. Got a light, you can charge your cell phone, jumpstart your car, tractor, sawmill, or generator, or even my ATV. That's pretty awesome. So thanks Ava Pow for sending me this, because you know what? It's probably gonna save my butt at least once or twice in the next few years. Just below freezing. Well, winter's here. I need to go change those panels. I noticed these panels were not catching sun as early as I'd hoped, so they're turned a little bit to the east too much. So we're gonna go ahead and just rotate them more southward. It should help. Now, the other thing about these is that I need to adjust this panel, so we'll do an adjustment. But it is snowing, folks. Winter's here. Good thing I was out flying the drone earlier, because not the time to fly it now. All right, there you go. They're actually at about 70. Should be at about 63, but that's okay. They'll do fine like that. They'll shed the snow better. You could actually go all the way to 90 degrees, but I just did what I could. So we're sitting at, well, 60, 68 maybe. So that's okay. They'll shed some snow, which is going to be good, because as you can see, it's going to be white tonight, which means tomorrow I will probably have to put the chains on. But for now, I got the generator running just to top the batteries up for the night, and then tomorrow, the only thing I really have to do besides put some RV antifreeze in the drains is probably have to chain the truck up. I got chains in the back, and I'll chain the fronts up so I can steer on my way down. I got plenty of firewood stocked up, thanks to Darcy. Oh, got chilly. Met another veteran today who's building a ranch for like a veterans retreat, which is pretty cool. So it was kind of fun to meet with him and get to know him. Seems like a really good guy from the 82nd Airborne. He was over in the desert when I was over there. So it's kind of fun to talk to somebody who's been there, done that with me. All right, well, I think it's time to go inside and enjoy some heat, maybe get something to eat. But it's been a good trip so far. Just got to chain up tomorrow and get that RV antifreeze on. I got enough water. The water's been blown out. But look at that, folks. We're getting snow. Supposed to not be very much. I think I heard it was only supposed to be 1/10 of an inch. Well, we've gotten at least 1/4 of an inch already, I think. So we're definitely getting some snow tonight, and it's only going to get colder. So if it keeps going, I could have 6 inches by the morning, which, you know, that's fine. I'll probably not leave real early, but for now, it's time to go in and relax in front of the wood stove and maybe get a bite to eat. I think what I'll do is I'll drop another video over here for you to check out, folks. You all have a great day. Thanks for watching. The old Jarhead out. Nice 2-point.